Hi guys, so today we're gonna cover this story, about AY, and he's explaining why he stopped going to churches, and he had one very important question, and that question is, who is the church for? What is the church for? And his video was a bit slower, so let's just break it down. So basically, he went through a period of his life where there was a lot of internet banter, and because of that, he left the church he was in because he didn't want judgment or people always making it about him instead of the service, and he went to another church, which at first he felt very welcomed. He felt like, okay, he has found his tribe. But unfortunately, when he got to the part of doing something important for the church, the pastors or the congregation decided, what, he doesn't fit that narrative because of every scandal or things they might have heard. So this is why he comes now humbly asking, why do we go to church? Like, what's the point of the church? Now, this is a very difficult conversation to have because the truth is that when it comes to religion, especially Christianity, to me, I will forever say it feels more like a cult than actually a call to God. This is one of the reasons I stopped going to church, because I had to ask myself difficult questions. If the church worked the way it should, why is it that we still have this amount of illegal behavior going on? Why do we still have bad people around? Why do we feel more judged when we come to church instead of it to be a place of worship? I have seen, and I will forever say it, my father used to hold Bible like this. He was a saint going to church, but what he did after church would forever counter that behavior. I saw a lot of people come to church when we knew what they were doing behind. So if church is a place where you cannot reform yourself and actually have a second thought on how you live your life and how you present yourself, then it wasn't the place for me. I saw a lot of mago things happen in church, and I'm like, not for me. Now, I, over the years, have taken my time to build a very deep connection with God directly, a spiritual connection with him, because at the end and at the beginning of the day, God lives within us. We're just too afraid to tap into that energy because it forces us to reform ourselves. It forces us to actually have love with that fear. Like, listen, this is the part I'm going to be on. Christianity and church is supposed to enlighten you in a way that it forces you to tap into your good side, but it's not working. It's not working. Now, the way I look at it right now is churches have become more of an image management. They decide to pick people based on who fits their specific kind of holiness. If you do not fit in their little cocoon and in their box of what holiness looks like, you cannot be part of them. They want you to come there because they want you to bring your funds to them, especially someone like AY. I'm sure he's a good donor when it comes to church things. But you see, when it comes to their image, they do not even ask the right questions. Aren't we supposed to go to church to repent? Aren't we supposed to go to, maybe he was in a confused state of mind. Did the church ever bother to investigate to know if he is worthy of the things that were online? No, they didn't. All they saw is a person that might not bring a good name for them, and they pushed him aside. But they had no problem taking money from him, I'm sure, because they invited him into the space. A church is supposed to look behind. If we cannot go to a place as a church and ask for forgiveness, let's say, I'm not speaking about him because I don't know the situation he spoke about, and if we cannot find peace, because the truth is, we as human beings, we are so flawed and we are confused half of the time. A church is supposed to be a place where we find that peace within ourselves and draw ourselves closer to God, to the right path, because a lot of us, due to circumstances or life just happening to you, you're going to be strayed away from what is righteous. But again, if you do not fit their narrative, I have had people say they went to church, but because of the way they were dressed, they were not accepted in church or not accepted in the front. Why are we picking and choosing? You see, the funniest part of us, look at all our politicians. Look at even, let's say, the wife of the president. These are people that are very highly involved in the organization of the church, but yet they have no problem signing that bill, which will now put your life in jeopardy at the end of the day. They don't mind doing that. So again, what is the point of the church if it doesn't force you to be your best self? We have the congregation judging you and pretending like they are holy while they keep their own private secrets to themselves, because after all, it hasn't been brought to the media, so they would claim holy. I'm sorry, the church is more like a gossip place, because you go there, you hear things, you hear people's testimony, and it now gives you the satisfaction that you have what to display on your pages or everywhere else. I even find it strange when I see people filming themselves in church, because that is the one place, that's the one moment you're supposed to dedicate fully to your Father, but you're too busy trying to prove to the public that you are a saint. You now differentiate yourself. Well, I went to church, so I'm holy. No, you're not. Your holiness is based on your actions, your everyday choices. This is why I say I take my time to analyze myself every single day. There's no day that passes that I don't do my self-check, because every single day is a blessing on your life. Every day you open your eyes is a blessing. But no, we take it for granted. We are so corrupt as Nigerians, as a people, and the only thing that gives us satisfaction is the fact that we said we went to church. The church is not supposed to judge you. Unfortunately, we even saw what happened in London when people called up churches and said, oh, please, my baby needs formula, can you help? None of the churches actually rose to help. Isn't the church supposed to be a place where you can find not just peace, but actually find assistance? But when it comes to collecting your tithes, they're so quick to jump. When it comes to defending thy citizens, they're absent. They're not there. They don't want to be involved. When the church, especially pastors, are supposed to be there to fight for the people, because according to them, they've been called by God, for a higher purpose. Unfortunately, in this situation with the child mother asking for help, it was the mosques that actually assisted them. So again, what is the church for? What is the church for if we have not changed at all? If we have not become holy, if we are not in touch with our gifts? You see, a lot of people will tell you, oh, we are godlike. Do you know what it is to be godlike? That means the same energy that flows through God flows through you, but you refuse to tap into that side of you. You look at yourself when it comes to bad behavior as, oh, I'm human, but in the grand scheme of things, you call yourself godlike, but you are not experiencing or indulging in the things that are godlike. You're not. We tell ourselves we're just humans, but do you know how much energy? Do you understand the power of energy? Do you understand the power of godliness? Do you understand? And I'm sorry to say, the churches use a Bible to correct or to speak to the public, but because even the pastors themselves do not know how to tap into that godliness. We are spiritual beings. We are not just, if you only knew. But you see, to tap into that part of you, you need to let go of everything that you thought made you. You need to let go of the things that hold you back. You need to do the work. You need to do the healing. Your church is not teaching you that. I did not wake up one day and decide to be this confident because, I had my life put together. I went through the pain of trying to heal myself, and I'm still not even 100% there. That is why when I tell myself, you know what, I'm in a bad situation right now, but I'm fine, because I know it's already on the way. How do I know this? With no one promising me anything, with no one saying, oh, you're going to get there. I know, because I believe in God. And God does not mess with his children. God does not play with his. Even the days when I did things that I classified as wrong, I told God, listen, I'm about to do this. But you see why I'm doing this? Protect me. And guess what? I always got the best protection, because I was one with him. He understood the drive. He understood the purpose. He understood the mission behind it. So I ask you again, what is your church for? When are we going to learn how to tap into ourselves? Half of the things we go through Nigeria right now, we wouldn't need to. The same leaders that are putting us in these situations are still going to churches. So why hasn't the church touched their souls? Why is it that certain pastors, not all, remember I speak about certain, are more corrupt than ever? Sit and ask yourself those questions. Anyway, bye.